You know, we do a lot of work to visit your constituency, depending on where that is. It could be any part of the world. We visit the political constituency, the economic constituency, but the constituency that perhaps is the most important, that we're becoming more intentional about on the program, is the family constituency. It's the most important, right? Because everyone is from a family. So we're looking at secrets to a long-lasting, enduring marriage. Welcome to the segment on the program, and join me to welcome Mr. and Mrs. Ekong. Mr. Victor Ekong is an architect. Welcome to the program. And Mrs. Adedoyin Ekong is a DevOps engineer. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to lie. But we're not talking about architecture or engineering this morning. We're talking about your unique story. You've been married for 28 years. Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And Mr. Ekong is, I believe, is from the South.
Yes.
And Mrs. Ekong is from the Southwest. Amazing. That makes it even more unique. So, ladies first.
Okay.
Let's start from the very beginning. The love story. How did it start, Mrs. Ekong?
All right. Thank you so much for having us. It's good to be here. And good morning to the viewers. We started, I was in school. I was rounding up my higher school, and he came for a wedding, a mutual friend, and we just got talking. He dropped us at the wedding. I didn't know that I didn't have anything on my mind. I was just a young lady finishing school and looking forward to what the future holds. And he just asked me for my contact. There was no GSM then. So I gave it my address, my sister's address in Lagos. And we just parted ways like that. And a month or two later, I just saw somebody at the door. I was like, wow.
Wonderful.
He had changed, you know. He came with a purpose. And that was how we started going out. And one year, we got married.
1 year, beautiful. Yeah. Let's hear from Mr. Ekong's perspective.
Well, thank you so much for having us. Yes, it was a time when something clicked in me. I knew I was just ready to get married, and that I would take every action with intent and with purpose. So I had this friend who invited me for a wedding, and I went along. So we went, and I met her. From afar, I observed, well, like what I saw. And well, during the wedding, I managed to ask a few questions. Good enough, I got her address. And, well, I went back. For a few weeks, I couldn't get out of my mind. And I decided to...
Beautiful.
I decided to pay a visit. Before then, well, I did some tweaking to my appearance. And I was very intentional, and well, the rest is history.
It's history, yeah.
A bit of change.
I love love, and I love the love story.
Me too, right?
If you're single and you're invited to weddings, please attend. Because you don't know what may come out of it. But it's beautiful to see how you look at each other. I've been noticing, you know, how you chuckle, and it's been 28 years.
Yeah.
So what a lot of people see marriage as, and it's warped to a large extent, is having just one channel to watch. I don't know if you've heard that before. They say it will be boring just watching one channel every day. Yeah. But still seeing you people, there's that, I imagine you still have butterflies, there's still the sparks. Obviously, there'll still be the other part of it. But I don't want to ask for a secret to long-lasting marriage, but I just want to ask how you're able to swim against the tide, right? Because this is a time where a lot of marriages are challenged. Then you didn't have to give her your phone number. There was no social media. There was no give me your handle. There was no posting online. But now we have all of those things, and it looks like they are choking relationships, choking marriages out. So how are you people able to swim against the tide and still have a beautiful relationship? I'll start with you.
Well, like you said 28 years, going to be 29 in April. Ooh. And I still ask myself, how did I get here? As in, the years just went by like that. And I think it's one of the major things is we were intentional. I entered marriage with intentionality, you know. I saw my father took care of my mom, so I saw how a marriage should be. So I went in with that focus, and I went in knowing that I should submit to my husband. My husband should love me, and we make ourselves priority. That's the truth. We make ourselves priority. We make sure that it's all about us. You know, the two of us. We don't share things. I don't tell anybody about what like you said. We've had challenging times, which is normal, but we ask ourselves questions. How we go? Before we started, we knew we were going the same direction. That's very important. We're going the same direction, and we focused. We didn't lose, focus through the challenges. We sit down, we talk. I make sure that I don't disrespect my husband. That's one thing that I do intentionally. Yeah, when we lock our room door, we can trash it out. But even my children don't see us. Yesterday, my housekeeper was asking me that, you're going on TV. Like, let me be the one that will ask you the question first. She's been with me for 4 years. She said, I've never seen you quarrel with Oga. That she's worked with people that fight. I said, well, it's everybody's decision. I want to stay married till death do us part. That's the thing. And I want my children to see, because I know that many marriages today have damaged some children.
Sure.
People don't want to marry, then social media's influence, the noise is so loud. But the thing is that they are good marriages.
Please say that again.
It's just that
Please say that again. I need you to say it for the people at the back.
There are millions of good marriages. Just that the social media is pushing out the bad ones. The good marriages don't talk. Somebody like me, I won't go to social media and say, yeah, because I am afraid of the backlash. So I keep it. We just read the stories, the bad marriages, but there are a lot of millions of good marriages. Millions.
I love that. Make yourselves priority.
Yeah.
And that's a point she made. Sir, over to you. How are you able to swim against the tide from the man's perspective now?
It starts with intention and decision of where you want to end. We entered into marriage knowing that this is for life. Really, because in her own case, she experienced a good marriage. I also experienced a good marriage with my parents. But on the flip side, I, at a very young age, saw many examples of bad marriages. Then I didn't understand, or I didn't know that it will influence my decisions. But it made me to know which direction not to take. So we had that decision that this is for life. That is first. And then we were intentional. We talked a lot before marriage, even now. So because marriages would fall apart because of miscommunication, undercommunication, misunderstandings. And the more you talk, the more you clear those areas of misunderstandings. And you can at least have a common goal, a common understanding as to which direction to take. So we try to achieve that, which we have. Thank God for that. And on the other hand, we are faith people, and with prayer works. It helps a lot. So basically, we knew that it has to be something that we go in together. A marriage is that of partnership. And we're still going on.
There you go.
Well, that is very instructive, but I don't know if you could elaborate, and this is important because it is often said that unspoken emotion, resentment is at the heart of, what seems to be responsible for the breakup of most marriages. And, that causes us to reflect on how communication is, put out during conflict resolution in marriages, because there's no perfect marriage. Even
at all.
Even though you've told us about your experience, I'm sure that there are challenging times as well. So I'd like you to give us specifics about your approach to managing your conflict, the type of communication that you adopt that makes you keep succeeding for 29 years.
Why are you turning to me? Okay.
I'm not including so much.
No, it's fine. Okay, the truth is that we all have emotions that we battle with sometimes. There were some times in the past I've asked myself, what am I doing here? Why did I even marry this guy? Because he would do some things that, you know. But I go back deep inside myself and look at the good parts. No person is perfect. I look at him and I know that he's a kind man. He loves me, even if sometimes he does something. So I take hold of that, you know, because like you are siblings, even if you are siblings, we have times that we have issues. You can't just you deal with it.
Fight too many times.
Exactly. So what we do is that he is the one that is quick to apologize to, and I ride on that. You know, women, I ride on that. When we have issues, I just keep off, and no, you won't know. If we sit down here with you, you won't know that we're having issues. We talk, we do the normal things. We say, I cook, I make his food, I ask him, you know. But there's a vibe that will be missing if you are very attentive. So what I do is that I just go inside of myself. I ask myself, does this guy hate me? You know, I know he loves me, and I know he wants the best for me. So that is just a face, maybe a character that we just need to sit down and talk about. That, see, this thing I don't like. But that's after days of me keeping malice with him. Then once he says, then we now talk about it, and okay. Then in our marriage, there's no boss, there's no, you know, there's no I'm husband or I'm, we are one. We work together. I'm not afraid to tell him how I feel. And he's not afraid to tell me. And when he tells me or I tell him, yeah, you may prove, but you don't come out and start. You see it as a point to resolve the issue, you know. So we've had issues, several issues. But like I said, I go deep and I ask myself, does this guy hate me? Am I at fault? Am I better? You know, we are both growing. It's a journey. It's a journey, and
let's hear it from the husband's perspective, which is very important.
Well, it's this thing is yeah, there is the gender difference, but we've come to understand that life is about transformation. Two people getting married are not the best that they should be. There are many years of change that would happen for them to get into the best of who they should be. We understood that. So there will be changes. And we decided that our marriage will be that of partnership and support. So the hitches are because of the changes that are occurring, and we need to trash that out. So basically, through any of the issues we've talked. So we put talking at the center before, and we put talking even during the conflict. Oh, there are times when we bone for each other.
There are times I've cried in the secret and asked myself, what am I doing here?
But we return to the table.
Exactly.
And the table is a table of sincerity. That's very, very important.
A table of sincerity.
If that wasn't there, there is no way you can resolve any conflict. There is absolutely no way you can resolve any conflict. Meaning that the words you say, how I speak to her, how she speaks to me, it's not to put in the knife and put in deeper. No, it's to bring it out and to heal. So that has always been at the center of any of our conflict resolution.
I love that analogy.
And I love partnership, Kayode, because most marriages, more often than not, you do not hear that word. One, you know, is superior over the other. But
it's partnership.
Partnership, yeah.
And no, not to push the knife in, but to actually bring it out and heal. I actually felt you bringing out the knife. I felt that relief. So 29 years in a few weeks, or a month and a month plus. I don't know if you've had times where the spark just disappeared. Not even that, it just didn't have the spark anymore. Several times. Yeah. So how do you reignite the spark? Such that it doesn't turn to a fire, a full-blown fire, but it just keeps... Because, you know, that's what the relationship thrives on. Maybe when you were chasing, you take her out, you write letters, maybe you could only do text messages then, right? But you buy gifts. But after a while, you're married and you just dress anyhow in the house. You've even forgotten when last you took her for dinner and stuff. So how are you able to maintain that cycle? Once the spark is going down, you reignite it, but still maintain that love phase, that my boyfriend, my girlfriend phase.
Well, let me go first here. Thank you so much for that question. again, my expression of love to her, though she talks more than me, but in terms of expressing love, I try to do that often.
Yeah.
So your love language is the words of affirmation? Naturally?
No, it does it. It does it, yes. But yeah, my love language is public display of affection, which he struggles with. He's a very shy person.
Touch.
So once we get into the car or enter our house, yes, that's when he starts doing all that. But well, I give it to him. He's very romantic. I'm not the romantic one.
So
he's very romantic. He likes the words "I love you." He likes all. He does it a lot, and
But,
On
but,
behalf
you,
of
but
men,
you
we
like
have to celebrate
receiving the
you.
romance.
I know how to receive it.
You like receiving the romance.
I know how to receive it. Yeah.
well, so from time to time, as one is able to as well, we redo those gigs that we did
Watch
when
movies a lot together.
when I was wooing her. But we know very well that the reception of those gestures is very important as well, as an encouragement for more to come. We know that. So between talking, between my expression of my affection for her, and we do things together, things we love, we do it together. And that helps us to keep the flame,
Still sparking. What is your recipe, man?
Recipe for
keeping the sparks, ensuring that we're still boyfriend, girlfriend. Because I've been noticing you've been smiling at each other. You people have been married for 28 years plus.
well, we play a lot.
Right.
We gist and then we watch movies together. We watch movies together. We have the same taste in movies and
Action, romance, comedy.
thrillers, action, espionage.
And I've had to develop
We're watching
tastes along the way that I never had.
but besides that, what do you do regularly to also deposit in Mr. Ekong's love bank?
I care for him a lot. He knows that. I'm always about meeting his needs, making sure that everything is okay with him. His food is ready on time. His work is moving on smoothly. In fact, he doesn't talk much.
Even when we are.
So what I do is that I just take his phone
facts,
and look at, this and this is what he's doing now. Okay, so I ask him questions because he's not talking one, Then we go out a lot together. At least, not even if it's not to go and spend money, we go out. We make ourselves and we make our children understand that, we are the two that is constant here. You will
go out.
Right?
So we spend time together talking. That's all. It's not an outing. We don't go out much. We just sit down with gist.
Yeah, I love the money part you said. Because there's this song now. It says, I'd rather be crying in a Bentley. It's for Gen Z people. So what they're trying to say is money is important, right? So they'd rather do money in a relationship and then go through all of that stress. But what am I trying to say is the fact that you obviously have to work. Okay. Right, to make money, to buy things for her, take care of the family. And sometimes people say, well, let's work. Let's take this time, maybe the first 5-10 years of our lives to invest in our career, spend all of that time working, making money. Then we can talk about our love because we don't want to be poor, right? So how do you manage to still, show love for each other in spite of demanding work? Because DevOps, architecture, I imagine that is very demanding. Yeah. Okay. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, if I may answer that, when we got married, we had an understanding. When we started having children, he was traveling all around the country, So I stayed at home taking care of the children, I was a stay-at-home mom for years. Yeah, it was not easy because I didn't have a lot of things that I needed, but it paid off. When I look at my children today, anywhere they go in the world, I'm proud of them. I know that they are doing well. So I stayed at home. I didn't work. I never worked. Though I did businesses here and there. At one stage, I was an event planner. I transited to DevOps just like 4 years now. So it's not the new, and it's a remote thing. You don't go out, So I'd always been the stay-at-home mom. I'd always been at home while he goes out. So that has always been the balance in the family.
So that's what works for you?
Yeah, that's what worked for us.
Because some women will say, no, and you be the stay-at-home dad.
It's what works because my focus I'd always wanted marriage. It's something that I wanted to invest my time in. It's a dream. I saw my parents, so I desired what my father had with my mom. So marriage was priority for me, not career. Though, of course, I couldn't buy the exotic things because my mates were, but marriage was very important to me and my children. It's a dream I had when I was a teenager. I've been looking forward to it. So there was no, money was not an issue.
So it was a sacrifice you were willing to make.
Yes, it was.
But
would
you say the fact that he was able to provide made all the difference? Because it's not all marriages where the woman can afford to make that sacrifice.
Yeah, true. But there were times too that we've had financial issues that we didn't have any. You know, then we step up together. The business I'm doing, we just pull it together. So it's not as if he's always been having the money. We've actually gone into we had financial issues for years where we didn't have money coming in. But we still maintained, whatever, you know. Money, for us, money is good. But we've never made it the foundation of the basics. No, it's not. Where we have. We don't have. We still love ourselves and still do get what we can get, you know. It's not an issue. It's never been an issue. We don't look at it.
It's like he has some thoughts there.
There is an angle to this. Our understanding is that you can't get the fullness of the enjoyment of whatever money or wealth you have in the home without that bedrock of that peace, love. You can't. Just the same way as you can't really enjoy the money you have without a sound body.
Yeah.
That's a fine place to anchor it. We must thank you very much for sharing your beautiful love story with us, and we hope that when you're celebrating your 30th, you'll be back here, you know, to also share the success story with us. Thank you so much.
How many children?
3. Yes.
Boys, girls.
2 boys and a girl.
2 boys and a girl.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Soft-spoken Mr. F. Ekong and frank Mrs. Ekong. Mr. Victor Ekong is an architect and Mrs. Adedoyin Ekong is a development ops engineer, DevOps engineer. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed your love story.
All right.